Imagine this scene. It's late at night, the garage light is dim and flickering slightly, and you're standing there, completely alone with your car. Your hands move slowly across the cool metal of the hood, almost like you're touching something living and breathing. You wipe away every tiny speck of dust with a soft cloth. You tighten one small bolt until it feels just right. You check the wires and the fluid levels one more time. The whole outside world, the endless noise of people, the pressure of conversations, the constant demands of daily life has completely disappeared. In that quiet moment, you feel a deep, almost peaceful calm that you rarely experience anywhere else. Your car doesn't talk back. It doesn't judge your mood. It never disappoints you or walks away. It simply sits there, steady and reliable, letting you be exactly who you are without asking for anything in return. Most people around you have a simple, surface-level explanation for why you do this. They say you're just a car guy or a car girl, a typical enthusiast who loves engines and speed. They tell you it's a harmless hobby, something to unwind after a long day at work, or maybe even a way to show off a little. Friends and family smile and say things like, "You should get out of that garage more often and spend time with real people," or "It's great that you have a passion, but life is about relationships, not machines." They treat it like something light, something shallow, something that can be fixed with one weekend trip or a few more social plans, as if this behavior is just a quirky habit with no deeper meaning. But that explanation is completely wrong. It misses the truth by a mile. This is not just a hobby. It is not some random escape or a weird little obsession. It is something far more profound, something that reaches straight into the hidden corners of your mind, into the exact ways you learn to survive pain, protect yourself, and find safety in a world that is often felt unpredictable and harsh. Today, in this video, we are going to uncover the 6 rare traits that define the psychology of people who truly love cars. We're going to pull back the curtain and show how what looks like a simple passion is actually a complex, powerful defense system, a private refuge, and a complete map of your inner emotional world. By the time this video ends, you will start seeing yourself or the people closest to you in a completely new and deeper light. If anything I just described already feels familiar, if you're nodding along or thinking about someone specific in your life, do me a favor and hit that like button right now. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss these deep psychological breakdowns. Let's dive straight in. We begin with the first trait. I call it absolute control. Psychology has long shown that the need for control is one of the most fundamental forces shaping human behavior. When relationships and everyday life start to feel too chaotic, too unpredictable, and too capable of causing real emotional pain, the mind instinctively searches for any area where it can be completely in charge. Your car gives you exactly that kind of total mastery. It responds instantly to your touch, your commands, your decisions. It has no moods, no hidden agendas, no bad days that suddenly change everything. You decide the speed, the direction, the music, when to stop and when to keep going. In that driver's seat, you become the absolute master, and no one, not a single person, can take that power away from you. Picture yourself cruising down a long, empty highway after dark. The road stretches out ahead, the dashboard lights glow softly, and for those hours, you are in complete command. No one can interrupt you, no one can demand your attention or shift your mood. It feels like finally taking back control over a part of life that has felt chaotic for far too long. But here is where things get interesting. What looks on the surface like a simple desire for power is actually a smart survival strategy created by a mind that learned early on that people can be unreliable and that close relationships can leave deep scars. You found in your car a safe space where control never betrays you. Yet this absolute control carries a real cost. Over time, it quietly pulls you further away from genuine human connections and makes you feel more comfortable with metal, engines, and predictable mechanics than with the unpredictable heart of another person. Your need for absolute control over that car is silent evidence of how desperately you need to feel safe in a world that has disappointed you too many times. And once you have secured that control, your mind naturally shifts to protect itself even more. The second trait is the avoidance of human emotional chaos. Experts in psychology have known for decades that many of us build strong avoidance mechanisms when emotions start to feel too complicated, too risky, and too likely to end in hurt. Human relationships are full of gray areas, mixed signals, fear of rejection, sudden arguments, and the constant possibility of being let down. A car, on the other hand, is beautifully simple. It is logical. It is measurable. You never have to guess what it is feeling, brace yourself for an emotional explosion, or worry that it will suddenly leave you behind. Think about those exact moments when life gets heavy. Instead of answering that difficult text from a friend, instead of facing an awkward conversation at home, or instead of risking another emotional drain, you quietly slip into the garage and start working on your car. Everything there makes sense. Every problem has a clear fix with the right tool and a little patience. There is zero ambiguity, zero risk of being emotionally blindsided. But here's the powerful twist most people never see. This avoidance is not weakness. It is not cowardice or emotional immaturity. It is actually an intelligent, protective adaptation developed by a mind that has been burned by too many disappointments and has decided to guard its own limited energy. You learned to pour yourself into something predictable so you would never again get scorched by the unpredictable fire of human relationships. The cost is very real. You slowly miss out on chances for deep, meaningful connection, and that quiet loneliness begins to grow without you fully noticing. This trait reveals that you choose the calm silence of mechanics to protect a heart that has already been hurt too often. And from that careful avoidance flows the next trait, almost automatically. The third trait is total focus on the predictable. Modern neuroscience tells us that the human brain craves predictability because it dramatically lowers anxiety and gives the nervous system a much-needed break. A car is the perfect closed system, clear rules, logical outcomes, no surprises. When you lock your attention onto it, your mind drops into a deep flow state that feels almost like meditation. The rest of the world fades away completely. You know exactly what I mean. Hours slip by unnoticed while you polish the wheels until they shine, check the tire pressure for the third time, or fine-tune the smallest detail under the hood. The entire chaotic world shrinks down to those precise, repetitive movements that give you a rare sense of total mastery and calm. But the real twist here is eye-opening. This intense focus is not merely a distraction or a way to kill time. It is a genuine, rare gift, the ability to be fully present with one single thing in a world that constantly pulls you in 1,000 directions. Of course, it stems from a deep need to escape the constant chaos and uncertainty of daily life. The downside is that you can gradually become more detached from your own deeper emotions and from the emotional world of the people around you. Your total focus on the car is actually a refuge for a mind that learned long ago to survive by locking in, staying precise, and keeping everything predictable. And from that deep protective focus emerges a sensitivity that almost no one notices on the surface. The fourth trait is the hidden sensitivity to loneliness. A lot of people look at someone who spends hours alone with their car and assume they're simply antisocial, cold, or emotionally distant. The truth is far more tender. These people often carry an unusually deep emotional sensitivity. They feel loneliness on a profound level, but they have learned to fill that emptiness with something solid, something loyal, something that will never let them down. When you are alone with your car, you do not actually feel alone. It becomes your silent companion, your quiet confidant that never asks uncomfortable questions and never demands explanations. It is the one steady presence in your life that people have never quite been able to provide. Here's the twist that changes everything. This sensitivity is not a flaw or a sign that something is wrong with you. It's actually beautiful proof of a heart that was wounded in the past and has found a safe way to connect without risking another deep hurt. The cost, however, is painful. Human relationships start to feel even more complicated and exhausting, and the isolation slowly deepens without you realizing how much it has grown. Your love for cars is a quiet, private way of soothing a loneliness you rarely admit even to yourself. And from that hidden loneliness comes a very unique way of handling the stress of life. The fifth trait is processing stress through mechanical action. Behavioral psychology has shown again and again that repetitive physical work can be one of the most effective forms of emotional release we have. Instead of lying awake replaying painful thoughts or conversations in your head for hours, you take things apart, clean them, put them back together, adjust them, and fix them. It's an active, hands-on form of therapy that your own mind discovered and perfected over time. Imagine coming home after one of those brutal days filled with conflict, pressure, or disappointment. The first thing you want to do is walk straight out to your car. With every movement, every wipe, every turn of the wrench, every small adjustment, you feel the tension leaving your body. Each bolt you tighten feels like a small, personal victory over the inner chaos you carry. But the essential twist is this. This is not running away or avoiding your problems. It is a brilliant, self-taught strategy of self-care that most people never understand. You've found a way for your body and mind to work together toward real emotional healing. The only real cost is that if this habit stays unbalanced, the unspoken stress simply piles up in other parts of your life and never gets fully released. Your mechanical action is a form of silent, powerful healing you have been practicing for years without anyone noticing. And finally, all of these traits come together and reveal the sixth and deepest one. The sixth trait is the deep need to repair what is broken inside. Many people who love cars carry an old, often unconscious memory of times when they felt powerless to fix the truly important things in life. Broken trust, damaged relationships, lost emotional safety. The car becomes the one place where you can actually take something that is broken and make it whole again with your own two hands. When you successfully repair a problem on your car, you feel a deep, almost physical satisfaction that goes far beyond the mechanical fix. It feels like you are also repairing a small piece of yourself at the same time. The final twist is the most powerful of all. This is not a coincidence. It is an unconscious metaphor for your quiet, ongoing desire to heal the wounds you carry inside. It is deeply human and surprisingly beautiful. Yet it still comes with a cost, because no matter how skilled you become with tools and parts, you cannot fix every emotional scar with wrenches and screwdrivers alone. This trait shows that your love for cars is actually a lifelong, private search for order and wholeness in the inner chaos you have lived through. Now that we have walked through all 6 traits together, let's bring them into one clear, unified picture. People who love cars are not strange, cold, or emotionally limited. They are the quiet builders of their own safe sanctuary in a world that often feels chaotic, painful, and unreliable. Absolute control, avoidance of emotional chaos, total focus on the predictable, hidden sensitivity to loneliness, processing stress through mechanical action, and the deep need to repair what is broken. These 6 rare traits together create an exact map of a personality that learned to survive and protect itself by turning toward things that are tangible, loyal, and completely safe. This is not a defect or a flaw in your character. It is a unique inner construction born from real experiences that made you more cautious, more self-protective, and far more capable of finding peace in places where others see nothing but metal, oil, and engines. Before we finish, I want to leave you with something important. Your love for cars does not make you less human. It makes you human in a more honest, more protective, and more sincere way toward your own fragile heart. You discovered a refuge where others see only an object, and that discovery does not mean you are broken or weird. It means you are built deeper, more thoughtfully, and more resilient than anyone ever told you. Remember this one truth: sometimes the strongest and most reliable connection you can have is not with another person, but with something that will never betray you or walk away. And in that quiet, steady connection, you are finally free, completely free, to be exactly who you are.